In days to watch this month, first up is the ECB meeting, September 8. The general sense from strategists and economists seems to be it is too soon to expect more stimulus measures from the European Central Bank. Still, possibilities include a cut to the deposit rate to minus 0.5% from minus 0.4%, extending quantitative easing, that's due to end in March. And finally, an ongoing issue we'll be watching for is whether the ECB at some point changes the mix of bonds it buys, or perhaps even starts to buy unsecured bonds issued by banks. After that, two other central bank meetings to keep in mind are the Federal Reserve and the Bank of Japan, both scheduled to start on September 20. For the Fed, hints in the statements of policymakers suggest an interest rate rise is possible, either this month or in December. Yet many economists are sceptical, seeing the language more as an attempt to make a hike possible rather than a concrete plan to tighten monetary policy. Underwhelming US employment data released Friday also saw the odds of a move implied by interest rate futures falling back to a 1 in 3 chance late last week of a rate rise. Japan's meeting could be more consequential. Governor Kuroda said this week, "It is often argued that there is a limit to monetary easing, but I do not share such a view." Possible actions include moving from a target of buying 80 trillion yen's worth of government bonds a year to a more flexible range, perhaps 60 trillion to 100 trillion yen worth of buying, say strategists at Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Interest rates, controversially pushed below zero for the first time this year, could go lower. And watch out for any shift in language around the long aspirational target for inflation, supposed to be 2%. September is not just about monetary policy, however. At an oil industry conference in Algiers starting on the 26th, non-OPEC member Iran will join a meeting of ministers from the crude oil cartel. Some have speculated that agreement to restrict the persistent oversupply which has depressed prices for the black stuff are possible if not likely. Also on the 26th will be one of the most eagerly awaited events this year, the first presidential debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Given the state of a race she is heavily favoured to win, watch out for the comeback narrative if the Republican nominee can last through 90 minutes of live television without offending large numbers of voters.
In the immediate aftermath of Britain's vote to leave the European Union, France led the calls for some of the City of London's most prized business to be moved to the continent. But the target was a surprise: derivatives clearing.